Welcome everyone to Best Travel Stories. Thank you very much for being here today. You are really going to enjoy the time we spend together. Let me ask you one question before we start. How many of you have been in Bulgaria or want to be in Bulgaria? Okay, great. Before we start, I want to sum up for you what you can expect today. So, we are going to start with our special guest Said, and he will going to speak about beautiful Bulgaria. After that, we will have the opportunity to introduce ourselves and tell why we are in this group. And if you have any question about traveling or tips for better traveling, we can share with others. The next part of our meeting is we are sharing a future destination or past destination. And we will finish this meeting with one sentence feedback. How was this meeting for you and what you would love to see as a content for the next time? Said, welcome. I am honored
Thank you, Susan.
to have you today. Could you please introduce yourself?
Of course, thank you so much, Susan, and thank you so much, everyone, for being with us today. So, as Susan said, my name is Said. I am originally from Lebanon, but now I'm living in Bordeaux in south of France. And I work in the tourism industry in Bordeaux. So I work in a wine city, which is like a huge wine museum. And I also work as a tour guide. So I do tours, guided tours for all tourists who come to Bordeaux. And I'm also a speaker, like on different platforms where I speak about traveling. I do virtual tours about different countries, about spirituality, about life, and many other subjects. So yeah, to summarize, this is me.
Let's enjoy. You can share your presentation.
Of course, thank you. So I will begin sharing my presentation. I'm going to close this part. Okay, so again, thank you so much, everyone, for being with us today. So, Bulgaria is a country that I didn't really visit before, but it's a country that always intrigued me, that always, surprised me. And I was always really researching this country in order to visit it in the coming future, perhaps after the lockdown, after COVID. So, in order to visit the country, I did a lot of research on my own. But at the same time, I have many friends in France from Bulgaria who gave me many tips and information. So I put all these information together, let's say, in order to do this presentation to give you a quick tour of what this beautiful country has to offer. So this is the virtual tour of Bulgaria. Let's begin. So first of all, just a few basic informations about Bulgaria, as I like to start all my virtual tours. So this is the map of Bulgaria. The capital is Sofia, that you see here to the east of the country. And the area of the country is about 111,000 square kilometers. And what surprised me while researching for this presentation is that there are about 7 million people living there. Honestly, for this area, I thought there would be much more people living, but the population is only 7 million people. And in addition to all this, the currency used is a Bulgarian lev. So if you're ever traveling to Bulgaria from a European country, especially, I think it's best to change your money from euro to the Bulgarian lev. So this was just, a little bit of introduction to the country. And now I'm going to be telling you 3 interesting facts that I found out before I begin telling you why visit Bulgaria and what to visit in Bulgaria. So let's begin. First of all, as you see in this picture, I chose really 3 interesting facts. First one is that Bulgaria is one of the oldest countries, should it be in the world or also on a European level. It is said that Bulgaria was founded back in the year 681, which makes it one of the oldest countries in Europe, actually. In addition to this, in the 7th century, Bulgaria was a very important route, for all trade routes that used to pass through Bulgaria. So they used to go from the north of Europe and come down to the south and to the east of Europe. And Bulgaria was really an important step of these trade routes. In addition to all this, if any of you is really a history lover, an archaeology lover, an arts lover, this is why I put the picture here to the right, archaeological monuments. Bulgaria is ranked as the third country in Europe with the quantity of archaeological monuments. It's the third country after Italy and after Greece. So if you love everything connected to archaeology in Bulgaria, you are going to have an amazing time because there are lots of history, lots of museums, lots of art galleries, lots of landmarks that tell a lot about the history of the country, the history of the cities, and at the same time, the history of the whole continent. It's really an archaeological paradise, if you can say so. In addition to all this, one interesting information that I found out is the Cyrillic alphabet. I'm not sure if you heard of it. I have never heard of it before preparing for this presentation. The Cyrillic alphabet is basically a type of writing system that was used in Europe and Asia in the past, mostly in Slavic countries. And it is said that this Cyrillic alphabet was very important and was invented by two Bulgarian monks that used to live in a monastery in one of the Bulgarian mountains. So all this just to show you how rich, let's say, Bulgaria is in history, culture, and in traditions. It's one of the oldest countries, and it has lots of traditions and lots of archaeological history to discover. So for all arts and history lovers, this country is a place to visit. So after these interesting facts about Bulgaria, here I chose 3 points why Bulgaria is a country that is a must visit, in my opinion, from everything I heard about it. So as you know, Bulgaria is a big country. It has so much to offer and there are so many places to see. But for the sake of this presentation and the time that we have, I only chose a sample of what you can do, and later on you can discuss, and perhaps also you can find information online and everywhere else. So why visit Bulgaria? First of all, for me as a person, I like to travel a lot. I traveled a lot in my life, and I always consider myself more of a traveler than a tourist. I'm someone who, I like to go to touristic landmarks, but I also like to discuss with people, stay at people's houses, to try local cuisines, to talk with local people. This is something very important for me, to discover the population, to discover the traditions. And this is why the first reason to visit Bulgaria, in my opinion, is the people, the culture, and also the traditions. Because the people of Bulgaria are very welcoming, very sociable, and very friendly. In my opinion, this is something very, very important when someone visits a new country, to feel really welcomed. In addition to this, they have very amazing traditions that are really unique and special, that really reflects the identity of Bulgaria. I'm going to be telling you about 3 of these traditions at the end of this presentation. And in addition to all this, as I said, the culture, the history, and everything it has to offer on a worldwide level for archaeology and universal history, let's say. So basically, the people, the culture, and the traditions are one of the most important reasons to visit this country. Second reason, of course, many of you know that Bulgaria is a very important summer and beach destination. Even though I've never been to Bulgaria, but I know that lots of my friends have been to, and lots of people go there during summer to enjoy the sea, to enjoy the beaches. So basically, summer in Bulgaria is really very warm, very sunny. Temperatures can arrive to about 28 and even up to 32, even 35 degrees. And if you go during, the high season, let's say from end of June to July and even August, you can find the beaches, as you see in this picture here, filled with tourists, with locals and tourists like from all the countries. It's a really amazing beach destination, and the most beautiful place to go for swim, if it's really your hobby during summer, it's really towards the Black Sea coastline or towards the south of Bulgaria. But in addition to all this, it's not only going for the swims that you can do during summer. Summer in Bulgaria is known for different other activities. So as you said, you can go for a swim, but also if you like, let's say, activities in like in the sea, activities in the water, activities while different types of activities you can find in this country. For example, Bulgaria is not really a country that is known for diving. Like you say diving, we don't think of Bulgaria spontaneously. However, one thing that you can do if you have never tried diving before, or if you have never tried it in Bulgaria, is try diving in the Black Sea, because I can assure you are going to find some amazing things, some treasures that are really amazing. You know, I saw many reviews online. I have many friends who told me who went snorkeling or who went diving, and they told me the number of fish, the diversity of fish, the diversity of what's under the sea is really very fascinating. So I think when I go to Bulgaria, this is an experience that I really want to try when I am there. In addition to all this, of course, hiking. Bulgaria is a country that is known for having lots of amazing mountains, lots of amazing natural landscapes, beautiful sceneries, as you see in this picture. So summer activity can also be hiking. In addition to all this is a small village that you see to the top right. It's called Madjarovo or Madjarovo. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but you can go kayaking. This is one of many villages where you can do this. I just chose it randomly. It's a small village where there are about only 500 or let's say 590 people living. Very calm village that is surrounded by a lake where you can go kayaking. So just to show you that during summer, there are lots of amazing activities to do in Bulgaria to enjoy your time. So this was second reason why you have to visit Bulgaria. Third reason is the following, the winter. So same thing, because it's also a summer destination, but also Bulgaria is a very important winter destination. As you see in the picture, the sceneries are really so beautiful, so amazing. I mean, look at this picture. It's like a fairy tale. I mean, I can imagine myself at night renting a studio, like an apartment, a bottle of wine, surrounded by all this snow, all these beautiful sceneries. It's just so beautiful. In addition to this, of course, there are lots of ski resorts, let's say in Bulgaria, where you can go to do the ski. And the ski resorts have the same level as ski resorts in West Europe. However, of course, the prices are cheaper. So you pay like half what you pay in West Europe, in West Europe, but you get the same quality, if not better, of activities. And in addition to this, two activities that you can do also during winter in Bulgaria, same thing as we said of summer, snow hiking, you can go for hiking. And one of my favorite ones is the thermal hot springs. Bulgaria as a country is very well known for these hot springs, mineral hot water, you know, and where you can just dive in the pool, in the hot water, surrounded by snow and by cold weather. I know I did it in Budapest. It was really an amazing experience, and I'm sure in Bulgaria, it's also going to be amazing. As far as I read, there are about 400 hot springs, spas all over the country. So these were the three reasons why Bulgaria is really a country that you have to visit: the people, the winters, and the summer. So now I chose three cities to tell you about that are a must visit. But as I told you, I chose them randomly. Of course, Sofia is the capital, but Bulgaria has many more cities to offer that you can visit. So the first city is Sofia. Basically, Sofia is, as far as you know, is the capital of Bulgaria. It is a really fast-growing, multicultural city that has a very amazing and rich history, just as the history of the whole country of Bulgaria, because it's the capital, and it has so many things to offer. Should it be for food, for tourism, for nightlife, for landmarks, for different things? I'm going to tell you a bit about them in a bit. So Sofia is really a city not to miss when you are in Bulgaria. So why you have to visit Sofia? First of all, as we said, the country is really very rich in history. And in Sofia, there is what we call the National Museum of History, which is like the main museum of Bulgaria and of the city and of the whole country. Inside this museum, you are going to find approximately 650,000 artifacts. So imagine you can really see the history of the whole country, of the whole city, and even parts of the history of the European continent in this museum. So if you are a history lover, I think Sofia and this museum are a must visit to see all the artifacts and get to know all this history. Another reason to visit Sofia is the street art. I am someone who is really who likes street art. I think I like to see street art in every city. For me, it's really like a liberty of expression. And for me, street art tells a story. We can really understand the city through the graffitis we find on the walls. And in Sofia, you are going to find many street arts, as you see here. Some of them are very humorous, are very funny. You can find them on the walls of the buildings, on the street walks, basically everywhere. And if you are really interested in discovering the stories behind all these street arts, you can take a guided tour. There are free guided tours that explain to you all the stories behind them. Moreover, the food, as I told you, because it's a very important thing. So in Sofia, you are going to find restaurants from different kinds of food, should it be local food or international food. If you are a foodie, you are going to enjoy your time a lot in Sofia. In addition to food, also the people, because as I said before, the people of Bulgaria are so amazing, so friendly. And same thing, the people of in Sofia are very friendly, are very helpful. You can ask any question. You are gonna have all the assistance you are going to need. I can assure you, you are going to feel very well welcomed. In addition to all these reasons, one last reason why to visit Sofia, if you are a party lover and you love nightlife, I mean, it's very well known for Bulgaria as being a country known for the nightlife. And Sofia as a capital is also very well known. It has a very amazing nightlife where you can go either to international music or go to places where you can experiment, some folklore, some traditional Bulgarian dances, some traditional Bulgarian music. There are really stuff for all tastes. It's up to you to choose. You can go for calls from a pub to another, but I can assure you, if you are into nightlife in Bulgaria, in Sofia, you are going to enjoy your time a lot. Moving on. So some of the things that you can visit or the places you can visit in Sofia, one of them is Saint Alexander Nevsky Cathedral, which is what you see in front of you in the pictures here. Actually, uh, the picture you can't really see how huge this cathedral is. You can only see it really when you are standing in front of it. It is said that actually was built in the year 1880. And it is said that Saint Alexander, used to be a prince in the 13th century that was declared a saint later on. And this cathedral has it has, if I remember right, 12 bells. And all these bells were fabricated in Moscow, and then they were brought to Sofia for this cathedral. And the biggest bell weighs about 12 tons. So it's really a must visit when you are there because it is related to the history of the city. In addition, you see all the ornaments inside. It's really a treasure, actually. And it has a capacity of about 10,000 people inside. Moving on, the Vitosha Boulevard. I think many of you know about the Champs-Élysées in Paris. Vitosha Boulevard is something similar where you are going to find people always go there to wander around, to walk around. There are restaurants, there are bars, there are shops where you can go for shopping, enjoy your time. You can literally do everything you want there. And at night, it's a really nice walk, as you see in the picture here. And moreover, as you see, there's this mountain in front of you when you are walking the Vitosha Boulevard, which takes us to the Vitosha Mountain, where actually it's like 30 minutes from the center of the city, where people go if you want to leave the noisy city a little bit in order to enjoy a great view. You can hike over there. It takes about 30 minutes. You go to the top of the mountain, and as you see here, you have a great view towards the city. You can go for hiking, you can go for paragliding, lots of activities. So you are next to the center, but at the same time enjoying natural beauties all around you. So this was the part about Sofia. Of course, it has a lot more to offer, but I just show these randomly. And now we are going to move to another city called Plovdiv. Plovdiv is one of the most ancient cities on earth, ancient inhabited cities on earth that are a must visit. I put here in the map, you see it's more towards a bit to the south of Bulgaria. It has a very rich and very diverse history. So why visit Plovdiv? First of all, because of its history, as I said, and second, because of the charming old town. These pictures you see are part of the old town of Plovdiv. So while you are there, it's as if you are, let's say, walking in a city inside a city. Just look at the beautiful colors, the architecture, the windows. You can just wander around, get lost, enjoying all the views all around you. Just take your time and enjoy this very charming and beautiful old town of Plovdiv. In addition to all this, why visit Plovdiv? Of course, the wine. Plovdiv is a region that's very well known for wine and red wine also, and it's surrounded by many villages where you are going to find different vineyards. And there are many festivities that happen in Plovdiv, as you see in the picture here about wine. And you can also go for wine tasting. There are many bars in Plovdiv that can, yeah, give you some where you can have some wine tasting and also go visit some vineyards. One of the places that is a must-see in Plovdiv is the ancient theater that you see here. It is one of the most ancient theaters in the whole world, and 2,000 years after its construction, it is still in use. You can go there just for the history, or you can also go there to enjoy the views all around you, because from there you have an amazing view towards the city. And if you are there in summer, make sure to at least participate or attend an opera or a concert in the theater, because it's amazing to see all the beautiful seeing a new of this, because you are seeing it from a different point of view. And one of the most amazing sceneries and beautiful things to do is to go really during sunset, as you see in the big picture here to the left, because during sunset you are going to have such an amazing view when the sun is setting towards, a view towards the whole city of Plovdiv. So, and as you see, all the hills are really filled with trees. So it's like a hike, it's like a workout that where you can enjoy your time. So this was Plovdiv, an ancient city that I'm sure to visit all of you. Program of events, should it be beach events, parties, concerts, cultural events, especially during summer because it is summer destination. So the weather, as we talked before, in Bulgaria is really amazing in summer, and same thing for Varna, which has such amazing beaches. And in addition to all this, just to tell you that the nightlife and the gastronomy in Varna, same thing as in Sofia, you can enjoy amazing food and amazing Plovdiv. Now I'm going to tell you about some UNESCO World Heritage Sites that are a must visit in Bulgaria before moving on to the last part of the presentation, which is the traditions. So in front of you, what you see, this amazing building is the Rila Monastery. Basically, the Rila Monastery was built back about in the 10th century approximately, and it's like the symbol of Bulgaria. It is said that it's like the biggest monastery in the Balkan region, between all the Balkan countries. It was chosen as a World Heritage Site back in 1983, And as you see, it is filled with beautiful ornaments all around it. That is, I think it's really a must visit for all history and culture lovers. It has an area of about 8,000 square meters, and there are about 300 rooms inside. Oh, a must visit when you are in Bulgaria. Another very interesting, let's say, and special kind of landmark is what you see in front of you, which is like, it's called the Medara Rider. Just to tell you, it was also chosen as a World Heritage Site in 1983. So it's like an image on a rock, on a mountain, of a horseman with a spear. And according to the calculation, it seems that it was made about 1,000 years ago. However, the artist until today is completely unknown. So basically, no one knows who made this art, this image. And just to tell you, it is about 23 meters of height. You know, so it's like a huge image that took, I know, months or perhaps years of work. No one knows who the artist is, but it's about 1,000 years old, and I think it's also worth a visit. Medara Rider. Another place that is also very nice to visit in Bulgaria is the ancient Nasibar town that you see in front of you. It's more to the northeast of the Black Sea coast. So basically, it's also one of the UNESCO World Heritage, chosen in 1983, and there's a huge combination of different historical events that you can find here. You see all the buildings, like it's like walking inside a big museum. You see, and you have all the landmarks, all the artifacts, and in addition to all this, you have an archaeological reserve that is on a peninsula, like a small island, connected to the mainland with a passage. So you can walk this passage in order to arrive to the archaeological reserve. So I think it's a really amazing city to visit. Even the houses have stories to tell about all the history, about all the culture that has been through Bulgaria. It's a really beautiful village or town that is a must visit when you are in Bulgaria. So these were some World Heritage Sites to visit. Now we are going to move quickly to the gastronomy. I think it's a very important part. But just to tell you that I don't really talk about ingredients. I'm not a good cook, but I can tell you that food in Bulgaria is really mouth-watering. I saw many videos about it. There are lots of vegetables, lots of fresh ingredients, some dairy products, and at the same time there is meat, there is seafood, and like all types of food. And my friends who are here in France, they always tell me how they always use fresh ingredients, like processed food is not very well known there, which is amazing. So I'm sure for all food you are going to enjoy eating in Bulgaria. And one thing is that the food there is really similar to some of the surrounding countries like Turkey, like even in Lebanon, where I come from. I saw online that there are lots of food that are similar. I think all the countries towards the Mediterranean have similar food. One of which is the yogurt that is very well known in Bulgaria. I think you all know the Bulgarian yogurt, the most known in the world. It's like the pride of Bulgaria. And this yogurt, it is said, well, it's like a joke. I mean, I think, but this is what brings long life. The Bulgarian yogurt. I heard it from a Bulgarian. I don't have any evidence to it, but just I thought I would put this information here. And in Bulgaria, there's the rakia. Rakia is like a drink, you know, like in Bordeaux, we always hear there's a wine. They are known for the wine. In Bulgaria, there's the rakia. It's like a drink that can be done from different fruits, as you see in the picture to the right. So you can have different kinds of flavor that people always drink with dinner, with lunch. And there's something very funny, actually, that I read online, is that psychotherapist can help you, but rakia is cheaper. So basically, if you have any problem in your life, you only have to drink a glass of rakia, and that's it. So it was just for the fun of it. So this was a bit for the gastronomy, and also the wine. The country, as I told you, in Plovdiv, very well known for the wine. And now, for the last part of our presentation, I'm going to be telling you about quickly about three traditions in Bulgaria that make this country very special and very unique. The first one is that on the 14th of February, which is worldwide celebrated as Valentine's Day, in Bulgaria, they celebrate wine day. Basically, it's Trifon Zarazan's day instead of Valentine's Day, because for them, this Saint Trifon is like the patron of wine. So during this day, it's like an important holiday where you have a priest that comes to bless the vineyard, actually, the grapes. And then there's a big feast where everyone is there with folklore, with traditional dances. Of course, the generation now, they celebrate Valentine's Day, as far as I read, but the 14th of February is all actually the wine day in Bulgaria. Another interesting tradition is Baba Marta, which happens in the beginning of spring, basically beginning of March, that can be translated to Grandma March. So the story says that this old lady that you see in the picture comes in the beginning of March every year in order to bring the spring with her. So she tells her brothers that January and February to just leave, and she brings spring. And on this day, people wear these things that are called the martinista, I think, if I remember right. You know, they put them on their hands, and they are in red and also in white. Basically white because it represents cleaning, you know, it's like a new beginning, and red, it represents the birth of life. And the third and last tradition I will be telling you about is the Rose Festival. So there's this huge Rose Valley in Bulgaria where every year during the Rose Festival, during spring approximately, you have people who wear, you know, traditional clothes as you see, and they go to these roses that are later used in order to make oily products and yeah, different types of products. But there's a funny legend about it, which says that there was this princess like hundreds of years ago that was in love with a guy, but her father wanted to kill him. Anyway, long story. So she gave him a rose, a white rose, and he fled the country, so that the rose does not die. He his chest and he put it in his chest. So because of the blood, Rose took the blood and became red. And at some point, he arrived to a valley and planted the rose there. And one of the legends said that this is how the Rose Valley began, actually, from this rose. It's a fun legend, but just for the story of it. It was all to show you how beautiful traditions are in Bulgaria. So basically, this is how I arrived to the end of my tour of Bulgaria. Just to tell you, as I told you, this was only a small sample of what the country has to offer. There are lots of cities to visit. Should it be history? Should it be nightlife? Should it be tradition? Should it be people? I'm sure you are going to enjoy your time a lot. There are lots of activities to do depending on what you love. It has so much to offer for all types of people. So in my opinion, really make your best to try and make Bulgaria your next travel destination. And thank you so much. Stop my screen sharing.
So thank you, Said. We really enjoy it. If anyone is having question to Said, please unmute yourself. You can ask. Any questions?
I mean, Said, just a question. Have you done any research on what's the best way to travel around? Is it best just to take a car or?
Actually, I've heard from my friends when I asked them, it's better by car. I mean, there are public transportations. However, it's not the same as what you find in West Europe, you know, in France or in Germany. So it's better to travel by car. And I think, I mean, if you want to go from a town to another, from a city to another, there are big distances, you know. It's always better if you have your own car. I think you can, yeah, I think it's better like this.
Yeah. Said, how about the safety issues? Normally I am a solo backpacker, so I would like to know about the safety issues.
Also, from what I heard, I'm also a solo traveler. I travel most of my trips solo traveling. I've been to East Europe many times, but not to Bulgaria. Bulgaria is a safe country, but of course, there are always the basic things like pickpockets, you know, like the things that we always have to pay attention to, you know. But otherwise, from my friends, I have a very close friend who told me that it's very safe country, and there are lots of solo travelers going there. Should it be guys or should it be girls, you know? And if you go online, I saw many reviews of solo travelers who were girls traveling all by themselves in Bulgaria with no problems at all.
Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you for the presentation.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
It was a pleasure.
Then we are
I
moving.
will. One more question. How about the English level? Yeah, the spoken English level. Are they good
Well,
at speaking English?
well, I cannot really answer, but I can tell you all my friends really speak very well English, you know, all my Bulgarian friends, like really fluently English. So
Yeah, I was going to ask that too, because I'm a little bit worried about all these Cyrillic letters. And if you don't understand them, it might be difficult if people don't speak English.
I think that, you know, surely if you go in small villages, in towns, people would not speak English as in any country, I think, in the world. And this is why, it's something personal I do. I always have this application on my phone whenever I travel, where you can find the important basic phrases and sentences to use. You know, I always use it. So yeah, I think it can be helpful.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Once again, thank you. So, and now we are moving to our second part of meeting, and it is about introducing ourselves. If anyone is having question about traveling or want to give a tip, you are welcome. I will start so that you can see how it could be. My name is Suzanne Merova, and I am originally from Bulgaria. I'm living almost 12 years in Berlin, Germany. And why I started this community? Because I love people and I love nature, and I thought it would be good when we meet online and share stories, ideas, how we can travel better during this time. Okay, Marek, could you please introduce yourself?
I'm Marek. I'm British, but my family is Polish. So, I wanted to attend this one because the Balkans is part of Europe. I haven't really spent much time in. So Bulgaria is, once we can travel again, Bulgaria is actually one of the countries which is on my sort of immediate wish list. So thank you for that presentation. But yeah, I do quite a lot of traveling, and I said I've been to most European countries, but that I said the ex-Yugoslavia from Bulgaria is probably one region I haven't really visited so far.
Thank you. Sam, can you unmute yourself and introduce yourself and tell why you joined?
Hi everyone. My name is Sam. I'm from Hong Kong, but I'm living in Edinburgh, UK. So yeah, I'm trying to stay in this country, for good. So most of my life I spent in Asia. So yeah, Eastern Asia for me is pretty familiar. But Europe I just came out for twice, so I really want to know about more Europe. Yeah, but I would love to go to Eastern Europe because the last time or the last few times I'm in Europe, I was in UK, in Spain, in France. So I would love to go to the eastern part of Europe. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Sam. Sonia, I think it's your first time. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Sonia. It's my first time here. And I've been following you every now and then, but the time is so early that it's always about, well, having to cook or whatever. And so this time, but I really made sure to be here today because, well, I also like traveling. I'm in Berlin. I'm actually from Bavaria. And what I like a lot about Berlin is this intercultural atmosphere. And what I'm not so much into long traveling anymore because my kids are out of the house. And what I was thinking of is going and work abroad. I've been working in West Africa for 4 years before I had the kids, and then I was here for 20 years, not moving anymore or going on holidays only. And now I got an offer to go and teach in Bulgaria and in Istanbul. So I am a bit hesitant and I can't really make up my mind, but what I've heard today about Bulgaria was really very attractive. I mean, I know Croatia and Greece, and I grew up in Bavaria, so we went a lot down on the Balkan, but not so much to the eastern side. But well, thank you very much. It was very teasing and tempting to go there as soon as Corona is over.
Thank you for being here. We are going to move to our last part of this meeting. Usually, when I started this meeting, we could meet, and I imagine that we are sitting in a circle, and we have two chairs. One is for the past, and one is for the future, and you are choosing one. And speaking about future destination, for example, or past destination. I will start again how it could be. I will speak about my future destination. Yesterday, I researched where could be my next destination. Something that could be not so far, and found about Ebse and Tegernsee in Germany. I was amazed of this clean water, the mountain, and the view. I was never ever been there, and soon I will be going there. That is the reason. Nature, this clean water, and not so far away from Berlin. Could you please share one past destination with us or one future destination you have been or want to?
Yeah, maybe about the future destination first. If you still have time, I come back to past destination. So I think yeah, Scotland is famous for her highlands. Maybe you guys know about it.
Yeah.
So beautiful, this country. So as I'm living in Edinburgh, if I have to go to the highlands, it won't be so far away. So summer is coming and the COVID situation is not as bad as before. It's going to be relaxing pretty soon, and we have the Edinburgh Festival in July. So I think it will be opening up to the rest of the world. So if you guys have a time, please come to Scotland, Edinburgh. So beautiful. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for inviting us. Sonia?
Well, I'm dreaming of going to Toronto and visiting Eastern Canada, because that's actually where I wanted to go, but I didn't get the job. So I was planning to go there, but that is a bit further away. In the immediate future, once COVID is over, I will just be going to the Northern Sea, because that's just around the corner from Berlin. And I'm looking forward to go for walks on the seaside and leaving the city for good, for a while.
Thank you. Marek?
Well, I would say if COVID permits, and I'd like to actually drive down to the Balkans, which again was one of so I was thinking of a trip through Bulgaria and Macedonia and Albania. But obviously it just depends on making sure that all those countries are open. Otherwise, I would say immediately, the moment you can travel, I was actually thinking going down towards the Pfalz, because it's part of Germany I've never been to, but again, with the combination of wines and the mountain down there. So I've read some stuff about it, and some friends recommended it, so I was thinking going down that way. It was the first opportunity when hotels are open where you can travel in Germany.
Thanks for sharing. Said, do you want to share one feature probably with us?
Yes, actually, I mean, we all have, I think, many destinations in mind, but I would love to visit, South America. I've never been there. I don't have a country specifically, but I think it's a destination that I would love to go to and discover a little bit. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. We are at the end of our meeting, and I am so grateful that I have you today here. We will end with one sentence feedback. I will start also to say, next week will be the awards, and after that we will come together, the community, what I wish for, so that to share ideas, how can we get better with these meetings, what content could be added, or the time probably it could stay the same time to discuss about it. And thank you for being here. Marek?
Well, first I'd like to thank Said for the presentation. I was really thinking Bulgarian. I think that was very, very tempting what you showed there. So it gave me a few extra ideas of places. It's just making sure there's enough time to visit all of those in one trip. But thank you for that. So main is my thing for today, is just say really good presentation. And it's interesting you're in Bordeaux, because again, I think one day if you ever present Bordeaux would also be interesting as a city.
By the way, I'm presenting Bordeaux in 1 hour, but in French.
Probably you can join us once again to do that if you would.
Yes.
Like. Yes.
Of course.
Why not? Thank you for the idea, Marek. Sonia, how was the meeting for you, and what would you love to see as a content for the next meeting, like idea?
Well, since it's my first time, it's a bit difficult. I really enjoyed your company. I find it very personal that we were just a small group, and the exchange, you give time to exchange, which I find very nice too. I'm a bit intimidated concerning your presentation, because it was quite professional, Said. So I'm a bit intimidated of sharing my own travel stories, because that would really mean a lot of work. Well, do I have a special wish? Well, I'm open to hear whatever comes up from other participants. Thank you.
Thank you. My idea was so that everyone is get involved and share idea to co-create something. Sam?
Yeah, I was being energized by meeting you guys in this cozy environment. Yeah, as Sonia just said, it's a small group. Yeah, I think four or five people is an ideal number of participants. So if the group is too large, it won't be having a lot of deeper sharing. So not only the presentation is so good, I think meeting up people is always amazing, especially from different walks of life or different countries. So once again, I enjoy pretty much this meeting. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you also for being here, Sam. Said?
Yes.
Thank you once again, and give an idea.
Yeah, actually, just tell you, thank you so much, Susan, for organizing this event. I think, as Sam said, it's so interesting to meet people from different countries, different backgrounds, and this is how we find how rich we are in our diversity and our stories. So thank you so much, Susan. Very interesting.
Thank you, everyone, and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Have a good week.
Bye-bye. See you.
Bye.